think a lot of amon-ra St. Brown will get some big yardage. David Montgomery will get some big yardage. I think there's a lot of Jared Goff could get some big yardage for sure. What about you, Mark? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you just named three guys that will probably have some big that will have big games and big yards by the end of the year and touchdowns. Catches, rushes. Montgomery, obviously, St. Brown, like you said, we could see sneaky guys like Jameer Gibbs coming in and get a ton of yardage. Both receiving and rushing the football. So, Sam Laporta, we just talked about him. He could have a pretty nice, solid rookie campaign and get some big yards. So this offense is set to be. It was super explosive last year. A lot of people didn't think it was going to be like that. I'm one of them. I did not think we were going to be that good on offense, and I think Ben Johnson is a very smart individual. He does have a bullseye on his back now. They going into weekly games every Sunday. There's going to be a target on his back because that was a top 5 offense last year, and top 5, top 10 players all across the board. So he's going to have to adapt. But oh yeah, man, there's going to be guys that are just going to kill it every weekend, and I can't wait to see it.
Hashtag FGB, how high do you guys think our defense will rank this year? Ant-Man.
I will be disappointed if it's not at least in the middle of the pack. If it's not around 16, 17, I would be worried. And, this defense is young. It is naturally only going to get better simply because it's maturing and it will get better as time goes along. But you've now got rookies who've been in there several years. You've got Liam who's been in there a while now. Your Butch is coming on his second year. Rodrigo's coming on second year. So's Kerbs. And then you've got Barnes, who's looking better, who's coming on. And now you've added good vets in there. Now you've put the likes of Cameron Sutton in there. Now you've got your Kaminsky's back, your Bucks is back. You've got the right amount of youth and you've got the right amount of experience. And, you've finally got your system in place. You've got all the pieces you need. The secondary has been letting us down. We have fixed that now pretty much. I want to see it middle of the table. If not, I would be, if it's not 16, 17, if you're still in the 20s at the end of this year, then Aaron Glenn gets fired for me because I need to see more tangible progress than that after 3 years if he wants to be serious as a coordinator. So I want it to be middle of the pack, about 16, 17. Get a little bit higher, then great. But that, with our offense, if that stays top 5, makes a playoff team very easily. So that's where I want them to be.
What do you think of the media consistently scrutinizing Jamo for social media? I think it's getting a little bit overworked. I think everybody's starting to pick him apart on everything that he does, and I think it's really getting a little bit ridiculous. Can the NFL season start so this stuff can kind of go away and they got something else to write about? My opinion, that's just kind of what I got going on there. Watch Detroit keep all 4 tight ends and cut their fullback. You cut Jace Kabinda? It's possible. I mean, they could do. I know they absolutely love Jason Kabinda. But, I mean, it's possible. I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. Mark, he about to speak. He's like opening his mouth.
Yeah,
He says, Mike, I want to speak.
well, it's like they. I don't know what the big infatuation is with Kabinda. The fullback I think is a dying breed. It feels like we don't use it much. I know Kabinda was hurt last year a lot, and he's got some versatility because he plays special teams. He's a former linebacker at Penn State. So I'm just wondering if they kind of keep him around just in case they need to throw him in at linebacker sometimes. I just don't. We don't see the fullback being used that much in the NFL. There's only a really couple really good ones. The kid from San Francisco, I forget his, I can't even pronounce his last name, but there's a couple good ones in the NFL. But I don't know, man. I wouldn't mind if we just cut ties with Kabinda. I think it's time to go. That's just my opinion.
What do you think about the Kabinda situation? Do you think, Ant-Man, it's time to go or what?
I mean, I foresee a position change. I'm pretty sure they said the other day that he's playing more as a tight end at the minute. They are using him a lot as a tight end over his running back, fullback duties. So I can foresee a situation where they will get him in the team because you need those kind of versatile guys who can do it all. And the way we play, we do operate with a fullback, and it is very useful to have. So, I mean, I can see why they want to keep him around, but it just seems how they're sort of trying to vary his horizons a bit, that they do want to keep him. They're trying to give him the versatility to justify keeping him. So, I mean, if he went, I can't lie. I don't think I'd be upset and crying about it. But I would, he's a great guy, and if he can offer more than just being a fullback, then great, keep him if the position's available to have. But I think they're going to push to keep him.
I think they will, and this is the reason why they will keep Jason Kabinda. Hard Knocks. He was intense. And when you're this intense, you got to stay on the football team, folks. That's my Jason Kabinda right there. He getting it done on the side.
That's one too many Red Bulls right there.
I seen that live, and I was laughing really hard. Shout out to Jason Kabinda's eyes. Those things are glorious. I'm going to miss your question, folks. Just repost it in there. Sometimes you just get caught up with Jason Kabinda's eyes, and it kind of mesmerizes you. Let's see. What's your guys' favorite Lions team? The current team, from the players to the coaching staff to the management, everything just feels like we're having fun. Yes, this is my favorite team. We're having fun. Everybody's doing it. They got shirts, Inception shirts going on. We got people biting kneecaps and having helmets on when you're going to conferences. The media loves us. I absolutely love this team. This is my favorite team. Regardless of how this thing pans out, I'm having fun, Mark.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite teams. I'm going to go on the Wayback Machine, man. I love that 1991 team. When the last time we won a playoff game against the Dallas Cowboys. Eric Kramer as our quarterback, Herman Moore as a rookie. You know what I mean? Barry Sanders, obviously, Robert Porcher, Jerry Ball. We had some ballers, man, on that team that should have done a lot better in those playoffs, man. We should have made it to the Super Bowl with that team. That was a really fun team to watch. They had a cast of characters on that team. It was just a really fun team to watch. That 91 team for sure. And I was at that football game too that they won. I was 17, 18 years old. I was with my dad, and we beat the Cowboys, man. It was the last time we won a playoff game. So
what about the 1954 when they won a championship?
I was there. Yeah.
Didn't you like that team as well?
Yeah. When Bobby Lane was playing?
Yeah, and then when they had the old leather helmets?
We playing catch there. Yeah, they had those soft little helmets there, man. Pulling them off at halftime, not even going back in with them. So, man, I've witnessed a lot of teams, man, and that 54 team, they were special.
I kind of think we're going to sign D-Hop since the coaches are saying no comment about him when reporters ask about him. I personally don't think they are. Ant-Man, do you think they signed D-Hop?
No, I don't. And, it's nothing against the player. For me, it doesn't fit what we need. I know that might sound stupid because he's an absolutely great wide receiver. And he'd be a wide receiver one here. But I think when Jamo comes back, you want him to be the focal point of your offense. We've got the veterans on the team with Jones, coming in doing the work. We've got our young studs. And I kind of want to keep it building that way. And to be fair, I want to save our little pot of gold that we've got at the minute for the trade deadline when we can start snapping up some long-term pieces potentially when teams are letting go. I don't think Hopkins would be anything more than a stopgap here. I kind of want to keep getting players who are going to be here for the next 2, 3, 4 years while we're building towards this window. And I think you always find good value at the trade deadline. And for the first time in forever, we're going to be buyers, not sellers. So I want to save it for that personally.
More likely to make the pro or all-pro, Penei or Hutch? I'm going Penei Sewell all the way. He is an elite right tackle right now. Would not shock if he made the all-pro next year. What about you, Mark?
I'm going to go with Hutchinson. I think he had an outstanding rookie season, obviously, and I think he's a superstar in the making. He's a little bit bigger this year too. His confidence is through the roof. I can't wait until we start hearing how he dominates in OTAs and training camp and mini camps. And I just think the sky's the limit with that kid. I just have a feeling we're going to be talking about this kid like people talk about Nick Bosa. I really do, man. And TJ Watt. He reminds me a lot of TJ Watt, to tell you the truth. So I just have a feeling he's going to be a guy that we talk about for years here, man, as a staple of our defense, and lots of all pros, lots of Pro Bowls.
Do you all think we'll see more play action and deep throws instead of short passes? Yes. I think we're going to see a lot of that. That's the whole point in getting these speedy guys that they got, Jameson Williams as well as Jahmyr Gibbs. It's going to open it up for those play action deep passes too at Jameson Williams when you have that run game. What do you think, Ant-Man?
I think on the passing side of the ball, yeah, that's what we'll see. But I think you'll see us run the ball a lot more this year. I know everyone said we were a running team last year, but Goff put up a hell of a lot of numbers last year because we were behind in a lot of games. So I think we're going to see us run the ball a hell of a lot more than before. But when it comes to passing the ball, yeah, there'll be a ton of play action setting up the deep passes. That is how we operate. That is the personnel that we have to operate with. We've got all these tight ends who can hit the middle of the field, amon-ra who can, and then we've got the guys who can go deep. So, yeah, that'll be the way. But Ben Johnson will just keep mixing it up. I would never sort of bet on him to settle on something. He's just going to keep reaching into his bag of tricks, keep mixing it up, keep other... Because that's what good teams do. You don't just run the same offense every week. You keep mixing it up so DCs don't have a clue what they're doing. So, overall, yes, but Ben Johnson, who knows what the hell he's going to do with all this talent at his disposal.
Besides Quinnen Williams, which defensive tackle could you see us trading for? That is a really difficult question. Does anyone come to your guys' mind?
Did the Giants sign Dexter Lawrence? Did they sign him? I should know this question because I follow the Giants, but that could be a guy if they didn't re-sign him. But I think they may have. So I don't really know. But I don't know, man. I don't really know who we're going to trade for. I would really be interested in getting Quinnen Williams. I know you're going to pay an arm and a leg though to get that guy, but he'd be a tremendous asset to this football team.
What about you, man?
Are the Panthers still shopping Ioannidis? Because I'd take him in a heartbeat. Is it the Panthers who were shopping him, or I can't remember? But Ioannidis I'd take in a heartbeat.
He was a guy that's being shopped. Yeah, that's rumored to be shopped for sure. Yeah.
I think he'd fit
FGB,
really well
will
with
you
this
be
team.
disappointed if the Lions do not win a playoff game? Hell yes, I will be. I will be absolutely disappointed. This is a year the Lions should be able to host a playoff game and win a playoff game. So much hype surrounding this team, and the last thing you want to see them do is get there and lose, like the last 3 times that I can remember, and the last 50 times that Mark can remember. So we need to win a playoff game. Like, come on. I mean, literally, the Jacksonville Jaguars won a playoff game. Why can't we win a playoff game?
I know.
100%. And, nothing is guaranteed in life. People go, well, we maybe don't need to do it this year. You can slow build. But, I mean, who knows what happens next year? Maybe we don't have a quarterback. Maybe they're all injured and then we regress again. Our window is now. There is never going to be an easier time to win the NFC North. And this team is young and hungry and can win games. And if it stays healthy, it absolutely should be winning playoff games. The windows for teams are so small. Got to strike while it's hot because who knows what the future holds. So, yeah, if we don't win one, I'll be hella disappointed. If we don't make them, I'll be angry.
I'll be pissed. My intro to a video would be Cheeks! And then bitching for 12 minutes. That's what it would be if we don't make the playoffs, because that would be an absolute disappointment at this point with the talent that you got. That probably means the defense was butt cheeks, and again, you would have to consider a coaching change if that occurred, like with the defense. Because I feel like I'm confident in the offense that they're going to be able to have big success, but if the Lions were to miss the playoffs, Mark, you'd think it'd have to be there or some sort of bad play, consistent play by a quarterback or something like that.